Oh, Scrooge. He was a tight-fisted hand at the grindstone, he was. A squeezing, wrenching, grasping, scraping, clutching, covetous old sinner, to be sure. Secret, self-contained, and solitary as an oyster. He carried his own low temperature with him everywhere he went. He iced his office in the dog days, and didn't thaw 1 degree at Christmas. Scrooge always took his melancholy dinner in the same melancholy tavern, and this night was no different. He read all the papers, and beguiled the rest of the evening with his banker's book, before he took himself home to bed. He lived in chambers which had once belonged to his deceased partner. They were a gloomy suite of rooms. It was old and dreary, for nobody lived in it but Scrooge, the other rooms being all let out as offices. The fog and frost so hung about the black old gateway of the house that it seemed as if the genius of the weather sat in mournful meditation on the threshold. Upon arriving in his chambers, Scrooge took off his cravat, put on his dressing-gown, slippers, and his nightcap, and sat down before the fire to take his gruel, for he had a cold in his head. It was a very low fire indeed, nothing on such a bitter night. He was obliged to sit close to it, and brood over it, for he could not extract the least sensation of warmth from such a handful of fuel. I'm back. Ebenezer, Ebenezer, Ebenezer Scrooge! How's this? What do you want with me? Much. Who are you? Ask me who I was. All right. Who were you then? In life, I was your partner, Jacob Marley. Ha! I don't believe it. Why do you doubt your senses? Because a little thing affects them. A slight disorder of the stomach makes them cheats. You might be an undigested bit of beef, a blot of mustard, a fragment of an undone potato. There's more of gravy than grave about you, whatever you are. Mercy! I believe. But why have you come? Why do you trouble me? It is required of every man that his spirit should walk abroad among his fellow men and travel far and wide. And if that spirit does not go forth in life, it is condemned to do so after death, and witnessed what it cannot share, but might have shared, and turn to happiness. Oh, woe is me! You are fettered. Tell me why. I wear the chain I forged in life. I made it link by link, yard by yard, and wore it of my own free will. Is the pattern strange to you? Or would you know the weight and length of the strong coil you bear yourself?
It was long and just as heavy as this 7 Christmases ago. You have labored on it since. It is a ponderous chain.
Jacob, old friend, please speak comfort to me.
I have none to give. I have little time. I cannot rest. I cannot linger anywhere. My spirit never walked beyond the narrow limits of our money-changing hole. Oh, not to know that any Christian spirit working kindly in its little sphere will find its mortal life too short for its vast means of usefulness. Not to know that no space of regret can make amends for one's life opportunity misused. Yet such was I. Oh, yet such was I.
But you were always a good man of business, Jacob.
Business? Humankind was my business. The common welfare was my business. Charity, mercy, forbearance, and benevolence were all my business. The dealings of my trade were but a drop of water, the comprehensive ocean of my business. Oh, why did I walk through crowds of fellow beings with my eyes turned down, and never raise them to that blessed star which led the wise men to a poor abode? Were there no poor homes to which its light would have conducted me? Hear me. My time is nearly done.
I will, Jacob. But don't be hard on me.
I am here to warn you that you have yet a chance to escape my fate. A chance that I have procured for you, Ebenezer.
You always were a good friend. Thank you.
You will be visited by 3 spirits.
Is that the chance you mention?
It is.
Oh, well, then, I think I'd rather not.
Without their visits, you cannot hope to shun the path I tread. Expect the first tomorrow, when the bell tolls 1.
Can't they all come at once, and have it over with, Jacob?
Expect the second on the next night at the same hour, the third upon the next night when the last stroke of 12 has ceased to vibrate. Look to see me no more, and for your sake, take care that you remember what has passed between us.
Oh, humbug.